Hi everyone. Today I'm going to be unboxing some geckos that I bought from Zero's Geckos. I want you to say hello to my pink tongue skink Pinky, who's hanging out in the background. Let me take you closer to her. There she is. She's super chill. Say hi, Pinky. She's super cute. I love pink tongue skinks. I had to remove all the plants from her bioactive enclosure because they got some kind of disease, I guess. So I'm not putting any plants in there for another 6 to 8 weeks, and then I'm going to replant it. All right, let's get to the unboxing. So Zero's Geckos lives pretty close to me, so I just went and did a local pickup. And here's everything that I got. Who knows Zero's Geckos? He also has a shipping platform, Ship Zeros. So this is one of his latest stickers, which I think is amazing. Here is a Crested Gecko that I got from him, and a Eurydactylodes Vieillardi. And she is not full grown yet, and they're also called chameleon geckos. So let's start unboxing these. I'm going to remove this. We'll unbox the Eury first. So I already have things prepared for the little enclosure. This is going to be a temporary enclosure for her while I quarantine her. I did decide to put her on sphagnum moss because they do need a little bit extra moisture, and I have always done sphagnum moss for my new Eurys, so I decided to just do that, even though, you know, some people might say that I should put her on paper towel just to make sure she's doing well, but I know enough about Eurys to know when they're healthy, when they're not. I have a couple in my collection. So I'm just going to start with a little bit of sphagnum moss here. I'm going to give this a little spritz, or actually a decent spritz, so that the sphagnum moss gets soaked in and the humidity is good. I'm going to add a little bit more sphagnum to this because I feel like I could use a little bit more. So I'm going to add a little bit more for her. And I have a lot of springtails available, so I'm just going to throw in some springtails. Since I have springtails in all of my enclosures, it's super easy for me to transfer springtails. I'm going to take a lay box from my Crested Gecko's enclosure and just kind of, there's always springtails hiding in the bottom, so I'm just going to add some springtails to it. Hopefully I got some in. They'll be hard for you guys to see, but I am pretty sure they're in there. They're so microscopic. And it's easy to know whether springtails are in there and thriving, because you pretty much never see poop if there's springtails in there, because they're a cleanup crew and they will clean up the enclosure. And so here, this is something that my husband 3D printed. He designed it and printed it. I'm gonna go ahead and add this little log here so she can climb onto it. I'm curious to see if she would like to climb such a thick log, but I know that she is gonna enjoy climbing these thin vines. And then this is just a temporary enclosure for her. Not sure if I should do both of these or not, but she might like to hide. I don't know. I'm gonna see how she does. I'm gonna start with this and see how she does, and I may decide to add this in there as well. Well, it'll give her a lot of climbing space. I'm just gonna go ahead and add it because they are arboreal. They like to stay on top. They don't like to stay in the bottom. And here you go. Gonna open this up. I love these guys. They're the cutest little micro geckos. Super chill, friendly. Never been bitten by one. And there. Once they get comfortable, they'll just chill on your hand. I would not recommend having little kids handle them, but I have teenagers and they handle them. And these guys are super fun. I love them. And their care is very similar to Crested Gecko care. This girl I'm super excited to have. I'm gonna put her in her new little temporary quarantine enclosure and see what she does here. Hopefully within a month, or maybe I'll keep her a little bit longer. I don't know. She doesn't need much space, but I imagine within a month or so she'll go into her regular enclosure that I will set up for her, and I'll do a video on that too. Oh, speaking of 3D prints, we've been doing 3D prints mostly for my enclosures and my animals, but this is something that we are going to start selling. Right now we're going to sell these as on, you know, an order by order basis, but we have a couple of sizes. So this is a large, and then there is a medium as well that I can show you real quick. You'll see more of it when I'm setting up the enclosure for the gecko, the Crested Gecko. And then I have a small and then a mini one for little hatchlings. So just put this here. And if anyone is interested, DM me on Instagram, and we can talk about getting them to you. Okay, so here's the girl. She's all set up, and I'll put her somewhere up here, and then I already have a quarantine enclosure set up for the Crested Gecko girl. And so when you quarantine Crested Geckos, and I think I've talked about this in my other video too, but when you quarantine Crested Geckos, start off with just paper towels, and then spray the paper towels to make sure that there's humidity. And again, this is just a temporary enclosure, so I have this one with vents right here, the black vents where air can circulate. I also have holes on the sides, so there's a good ventilation and circulation going on, and it helps hold the humidity. And you know, they'll stay in here honestly just because I have bought many geckos from Zero's Geckos, and you know, I know them. You know, I'm not going to quarantine the regular 30 to 60 days. Once I see that the gecko is pooping well and eating well and is not showing any signs of sickness, they will go to their new enclosure. So I am going to actually use the medium one for this girl. And then I'm going to put, let's see, there's two of these. So she has some hiding spots and she feels safe. And I'm just going to throw this one in here too. I want to put a stick in here for her as well, but I don't have any sticks that'll work. And so next time I'm online or I'm at a show, or I might even 3D print something out for her to hang out on. So that's my plan right now. Let's get her open. She is gorgeous. She is a gorgeous tiger. And she is also 50% het X. So there she is. She's very sweet and very active. And is glad to be out of her box. Look at her. She is gorgeous. So gorgeous. All right. Gonna put her back. And just if you are interested in purchasing a Crested Gecko and have never owned a Crested Gecko, just know that they like to jump around. So every one of us that loves and has Crested Geckos as part of our family have learned to work with them and catch them in mid-flight. I just talked about ship zeros. So when I went and met up with Harry, I also got some shipping supplies from him. So I got some deli cups, some cold packs, and some cryo packs in here. And also, I haven't opened this yet, but I also got some shipping boxes. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time. Dyson, come here. Sit down. Sit. Sit down. Sit down. Sit down. This is Dyson, my talkie dog, and he is my biggest pain in the rear when I am working on videos. Get so that the sphagnum moss. Fuck, Dyson. Stay. Don't go anywhere. Fuck, Dyson. You're the biggest pain in my ass. Get in.